All right, this lesson is going to be all about how you segment and choose the right people to get that right message. And the way we use that is through what we call tags. So, again, these are different than the tags you might see in LinkedIn. The tags from LinkedIn are not able to be exported from LinkedIn. So, unfortunately, you can't utilize those within this software specifically. I can show you a roundabout way to essentially use them, but those tags will not be exported directly from LinkedIn. So, how do we go about doing this? How do we put the right people and segment the list so that you're making sure the people that you want to get messaged are the ones getting messaged? So, the first place is we're going to go into this tab here, tags, and create a couple tags. Let's say there's a couple things I can show you here. One, let's say before you start doing a new database build, let's say you have a bunch of or not even a bunch, maybe you just have a group of connections that are mostly people you work with or friends and family, people you went to college with, people that you don't consider prospects, people that you don't want to message. And if before you start reaching out to these new connections, these qualified prospects, what you can do is you can put that original list in here if you want, and label them or tag them in some way that lets you know these are not the people that you want to be entering a campaign. You could call this a do not message tag, or you could, let's say you called it just original connections, something like that. Totally fine. And then if you did that, you have the option to select all under that tags edit connections page, which we looked at in the last lesson. You could select all and make sure you add them all to that tag. So from there, let's do a couple of examples here. Let's say for instance, let's say you were targeting CEOs. It was one of your buyer personas. I could just type that in, hit create tag. You can fill out the tag description if you have something that's a little more specific to some tag, but it's not required to create that. Let's add another one in here. Let's say you also were doing, for this example, let's do one by industry. Let's say you were targeting marketing and advertising pros. Okay, so we got a couple tags created. Now what we want to do is get the right people in those tags, right? So two different ways you can do it. The first I'm going to show you is from within this tag screen. This is kind of the more bulk option. If you go in and hit edit connections, and we'll actually show you what I was just talking about, where you could add everyone to this if you were doing some sort of original connections list, or everyone on this list you knew was a great fit. So under that edit connections icon you see here, I can select all, unselect all, or if I'm individually looking to get people into this group, again, that's what I'm going to show you. There's two different ways we can do that. This is the first one with where you can add multiple checkboxes to names at once. You can scroll through here and click on names if you know the name of the person, or you could do a little bit differently. And either if you have on your CSV the people that you want to specifically add to a campaign, you could look at that and then do what I'm hitting here is the function Control F. That's just fine. So I could, say like, okay, I want to add Ben Niffen here. I want to add Josh Turner here. And, again, it's going to bring up anyone with that name. You can click on it there and add them to my list. The other way you can go about this is we can utilize, let me actually add a couple of these people first, and then we'll show you real quick how you can go about using LinkedIn search function for the other tag that we created. So let's just leave those two. Let's say, okay, save tag connections here at the bottom. And go back here. Back to my tags. And I'm going to refresh the screen real quick, and we should see a couple connections showing up here. So there you go. We have two connections added. The other one here, this marketing and advertising pros, I wanted to use an example of if you have a buyer persona that's based on industry, because industry is not something that LinkedIn will allow you to export from your list, from within your list of connections on their site. So what can we do to get that? The way that I would recommend going about that, if you have something that's, I only want people in this industry, is going to be utilizing LinkedIn's advanced people search from within your own first three connections. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here and pull up my LinkedIn screen. And as you see, we are in the advanced people search, which you should recognize here if you've gone about building a database and reaching out to those potential buyers. And what I'm going to do here, this is, the big difference is we're not searching for second degree and group and everyone else. We're looking only within my connections at this point. And I'm going to add in the filter here under industry that I'm looking for this buyer persona. So let's scroll down here. There we go. Marketing and advertising. And of course, if you had other details that might be needed here, but I'm looking for people that are just listed as this industry for this example here. So hit search. I have 182 results here. So what can I then do with this? I have this list. What I like to do is, either in another screen, pull this over, or have the list of people and then going through on my bulk list and clicking on edit connections here. Oop, I clicked on the CEO one. Let's go back here. I want to get into my marketing and advertising pros. So what I'd do is I'd have that search result screen open with the people, go through and Control F and find these people and get them tagged. That is, up front, it can take some time to get these people tagged. Really what you're going for, though, is that this is a one-time activity. Once you have them tagged, they're ready to go. They're in the batch. They're in the persona. They're in the group that you want to go to. So that is that's the first way you can go about using these tags. The second way we can use, let me go back here, would be on a more individual basis. So for instance, this CEOs tag here. We could go the route that I just showed using LinkedIn and pulling up my CEOs, or if you have people tagged, looking at the list of tags and going through and control finding them. You could also individually create some searches within those groups. So on the connections page here, we can make some searches. So like let's say CEO. Now, the only things you can search for with these people are going to be based on the information that is provided to us in that CSV from LinkedIn. So we have first name, last name, email, company, and job title, So job title, if I'm searching for that, like the CEOs, I can do that, and it'll bring up only the people that have that job title, right? I could also, if I'm looking for business owners and CEOs, do a search of owners, get just the owners, and I can go in and tag those people to the left of their names here. You see these action buttons, and I'll go over these real quickly. But first, let's where we're focused is the edit tags. Click on that, and you see the two tags I created. I can add a tag. I can remove a tag if I need to from anyone, and go ahead and close. And by adding tags, what you'll see happens is I can then these filters up here I can filter by them. So if I had a lot of people tagged in here, let's say I was targeting CEOs and financial advisors and manufacturers, and they all had their own specific tag, I can go in and tag and get a list of just those people pulled up for me right away so I can see kind of who's in that campaign. The only other thing I wanted to mention here quickly is that you do have an edit connections button. So let's see if we can find someone who fits this. I want to find a prospect on my list here whose name, here we go. Trina's a good one for this. So what I'm going to do, this edit connections is going to be, as you see, Trina wrote her name in all caps. People, it's pretty common that you'll have people on your list that do something interesting with their first name, whether it's all caps like we have here, or like William Randall down here. He put William K. And the reason I like to edit these connection names is because when I send out the message, it's going to pull in the first name that I have stored in here. And it's going to say like, hi, Trina, right? So I can just have hi first name, and it would pull in Trina's name. And then for the next person, if it's William, it would say hi, William, and pull in his name. Now, if the name is written like this, it's going to take how they wrote their name in LinkedIn. And as we both know, I don't want to write it. It comes across as insincere or automated if it says hi Trina all caps. So I like to go in and make edits to these names. You could obviously edit the last name. You could edit the company, job title if needed. But typically, I'm not writing someone's first and last name in a message. It's typically just going to be like hi Trina, and then I'm going to get the core of my message. But I can change all this. Go ahead and click save, and then that way I know that Trina, when I send her a message, will be addressed the right way. And again, sometimes people go in, they try to think they have to edit every single name from the start. I say the people that you have queued up for a message, and again, you can sort this list by those who have a tag. That's who I'm going to focus on at the start, is making sure that those names are edited and work through it that way. Obviously, if there's someone on my list who I'm never going to message for whatever reason, they're not a fit, there's no use spending your time going in and looking for all those changes to make. It's really the people we want to focus on are those that are the ones that are going to get our messages. So once you have you've added your connections again to different tags, the next step is going to be, obviously you should have some messages queued up that you want to send to some of these people based on module 2 in the training, but we are now getting ready to the point of actually creating a campaign, and that's what we're going to be getting into here in the coming training videos.